Okay, I should be streaming right now. Music. There we go. I'll be honest, this is VGC. This is like the last time I played VGC is like halfway through Gen 8. I did pretty well back then. I remember consistently being able to get into 1800s with some very questionable teams, but no, I've zero knowledge really about VGC, especially this gen. But Chris, cool guy, told me he was about to play, so I thought, you know, I'll stream it a little. I hope he doesn't mind. If he does, I'll take the stream down, of course, or his opponent, I suppose. But I'm not feeling too well currently, so I was planning to go out, but decided not to. So I thought, well, I'll stream it anyways, you know. Either way, this is round 1. I assume this is a BO3. I'm pretty sure it's a BO3. I doubt anyone will be watching though, because this isn't OSDT or something like else, which I suppose has an overlap with people who watch my streams otherwise. Rockslide Lando. Yo, okay. I doubt the crit mattered on the Thunderous. So this is a mixed Lando. Oh, that's quite interesting. Urshifu Dark, prevalent as always. Urshifu Dark will always be like a consistent good one wherever it features, besides maybe the double Ubers. I tried it there. It isn't too bad, right? Especially because Yveltal's gone now, so this is one of the only solid sucker punchers or like hard Kelly counters, but it's just not pulling its weight against anything else, so... I like Urshifu though. Oh, there's the para. There's the Lando. So I assume Chris just wins now with like D-Gleam. And I don't know if Thunder carries a different attacking move besides Wild Bolt Storm, but Chris still has one Pokemon in the back. As long as it isn't Lando, unless it's like some weird Scarf Lando, Chris should be fine by with his Flutter Mane. Just a D-Gleam. The only thing you kind of want to be careful of is a Sucker Punch, of course, from Shifu. That's true, but I assume they don't run specs Flutter in VGC, so otherwise it could always protect, and even though Thunderous is at -2, Urshifu has a pitiful Spadef stat, so, or like Spadef and HP combo. What is it? DT? I don't even know this on the top of my head. Yeah, the HP stat is quite good, but Spadef is quite lacking. Do you see Protect coming out? Oh! Oh, that doesn't even kill Flutter. I'm pretty surprised, because Flutter... Well, Urshifu's not good in Spadef, but Flutter is even worse in, in defense. If I'm honest, it wouldn't have been... Oh, that doesn't kill? But we see Lando revealing the only thing it can touch Thunderous with being U-turn with that, so you kind of want to be careful of that Sucker Punch from Shifu. You know what? I don't know what else this Thunderous carries, but I assume his only damaging move is Wild Bolt Storm. Decided to sucker into the Tran. I assume he... Why would you U-turn into the Tran? Is that a misclick or is this a genius play I'm not aware of? Yeah, I don't know what Thunderous... Oh, I forgot the Terra. That's why he did it. I forgot you can Terra in here. 42 still not a whole lot of damage. U-turn can't Twist KO it, but Terra Blast can. So, oop, we're putting that away. Oh, I'm apparently still searching. Ooh, let's not do that. So that's game 1 for Chris. There we go. Let's watch from our young hero's perspective. Same team? Should be, right? Yeah, the same team. Well, did Tabu also bring the same team? Are you locked into the same team? Or can you switch? I don't know. This is... As I said, I don't know anything about VGC really. I might get back into it, but... I think you call it seasons. I don't know, that first season, or whatever it was, the thing it started out as gen with, was so horrible that it immediately turned me off playing VGC. And I'm now quite busy anyways, like with different tours and also in real life stuff, so... But I think when all those like tours are over and it's... I have a bit more time. I mean, I have enough time, and like if the tours that I'm in now quiet down a little, to play some VGC, but I don't know. To a certain degree, I always thought VGC was a little bit of a boring tier. Although I say that, but all the other tiers are currently also boring. I think it's more of a generation problem than a... Oh, the crit. That's very annoying, because now you're in Sucker Punch ranges of Urshifu. But it is interesting though, because that's definitely not the same flutter set as Chris, right? Because a crit shouldn't have done as much. Or Chris's flutter should have done more. Yeah, right. I assume you kinda need to protect flutter here. Dark into the Urshifu with Rillaboom, ignoring your Amoonguss, and you're hoping... Yeah. I kinda assume a Pollen Puff will come out now. Yep. Yeah, I assume he couldn't protect. With that said, he could still switch out, but looking at the rest of Tabu's team, it isn't too useful, of course, versus the Amoonguss. You can't have it in versus an Urshifu. And it's also not really that great versus Golden Go, so... Although with that said, I do say that, but you of course have Shadow Ball to chip it quite heavily. Either way, yeah, I thought the Sucker Punch was quite obvious. You could have switched out there, but at the same time, it is a risk you take to get Wicked Blowed in that slot instead, and like then you kind of need to make the... I'm trying to find the word here, fuck. I can't find the word I'm looking for. I'll respond to Glitch later. It's a little bit weird if I do his conversation on stream while also streaming this, right? Yeah, so it depends, like as I said, if you want to take the risk of the Wicked Blow versus the almost guaranteed Sucker Punch. Like the risk that you get Wicked Blowed into a slot, which possibly you can't afford. I'd say that I think TabuVGC probably has this with his Urshifu. Terra Darkness kills so much, and you can kinda cycle through Amoonguss. So now you're kinda stuck with a Rock Slide Lando, because, well, Sensor Storm won't do any real damage. And the problem of course also is... But with that said... Oh, never mind, Chris started already. But, Tran. Well, of course, it has a pretty problematic matchup versus the Shifu. Does pretty well against the other two, although if you get the area impulsed, it also isn't the best thing ever, so, you know. So I think Tabu should have this. I might be tripping, but wouldn't Palafin be quite good in this matchup? I don't know which set it is, but I could assume Bandit would do, because I can't imagine they run bulk up here. You just do not have enough turns and opportunity to set up, I take. So I assume it's Bandit. Would do actually quite well here. I assume... Well, I'm used to running it in rain, right? So maybe I'm now overestimating the damage without rain, but You definitely well, without a doubt you Oko Flutter. I think that's pretty like, a solid guess, I'd say. And you probably also take a Lando, as long as nothing is there, of course, at -1. You definitely don't kill Urshifu, but you do some decent chip too. Whoa, that trend still did quite a bit of damage even after the -2. So what do you do here? Do you switch? I suppose you kind of want to switch one out. That's straight up killed. Doesn't surprise me. Does he get a burn? That could save him. He got a burn on the wrong Pokemon. If he just burned Urshifu, that could have been quite different. With that said, Rillaboom fakes out Shifu here. I assume Shifu detects, or detects here. But it's a free fake out. You can Heat Wave into the Amoonguss slot. Or like, you don't Heat Wave in the Amoonguss slot, of course you Heat Wave in everything, but will only hit Amoonguss. Goes for Terra Blast to make sure, absolutely sure, he doesn't miss. Urshifu's the fastest thing though. I think you kill Rilla here, and then you kill Tran. Because Tran can't OHKO you, but Rilla probably can with Wood Hammer, so. Unless he crits or burns. With that said, I don't know how bulky this Heatran is or how strong the Shifu is, but imagine if this Tran has a Chople Berry. It's probably not something they run, but imagine. Either way, 1-1. We're now arriving at the decider. I assume they got both use the same team over and over again. Ugh, you can't switch. Otherwise, I assumed they would have switched a long time ago. Alright, here we are, the big decider. A solid guess, I'd say. And, oh, hello, Nethrix. It's always fun to see you pop in. Well, I think Chris should be able to win this, right? In terms of just, with my incredibly limited knowledge on, what you call it? VGC. With a little bit of just Pokemon knowledge I have, I think Chris should be able to win this. Chris is a very good player. I mean, he is a player that knows his way around, call it the battlefield, although that sounds kind of, you know, a little bit too much, but, you know. He knows his way around Pokemon battles. Solid team. Both have a similar lead, just the Lando is different. Although I'm pretty sure the Flutterman from Tabu seems to be Specs. Or Chris is running a very, very defensive Flutterman with not a lot of special attack investment. That's also possible, but I'm more thinking that the Flutterman from Tabu Specs. I know choice items are normally quite unpopular in VGC, but maybe. I mean, that damage. I think it was game 2. No, it was right. Yeah, you see, because Terra should have kind of given you this like around the same result as a crit, and we see it does 58 on this Flutter, but with this crit Flutter it does more. So it's kind of, you know. Oh, Terra Flying. That's an very interesting choice on Lando. Straight up just... right, well, both Flutters just die. Interesting Terra on Lando. I'm sure it has to do with something, but you're... well, I assume it's mainly the damage on Terra Blast, so you have a step flying, but... You go from one Ice Weak to the other Ice Weak, and you go... from what first used to be an immunity to electric, now to weak to electric. That's a very interesting choice. I assume it's for the damage output. Either way, I take it that Rillaboom just dies to a Terra Blast. Probably pretty safe if you have a Tran in the back. Or your own Thundy to switch that in. Although it wouldn't surprise me if you Terra Blast into the Lando predicting something like Rilla doing something wacky. Or not wacky, but just, you know, standard stuff. Terra Fire. That's very interesting. Well, the trend is not really in looking towards his friends, right? Or Shifu can probably OHKO it. Lando can for sure OHKO it. He already Terra'd with his Rillaboom. I'm not sure if that Terra was worth it. It would have probably, like, maybe you wanted to save the Terra on the Tran or something. Although, I'm sure Chris knows what he's doing, but if you go back, never mind. Let's see what happens here. Double switch in, Heatran Sec. Rillaboom is in for another fake out round. And I take that Urshifu switches out for Lando here. I don't know what his Lando is carrying, but I'm talking about Chris's Lando. But maybe you could fake out the Thunderous and possibly kill it with, like, I don't know what they run. I don't think Sludge Bomb would be a popular thing to run. What do you run? You run Protect. Oh, Rock Slide, of course. Well then Rock Slide, I don't know. Is it worth it though? Because what threat does Thunderous form to your Lando besides from Area Impulsing you? But if you plan on Rock Sliding... With that said though, you are faster than Shifu, and... Oh, it fucking stayed in. That's scary. With a bit of luck for Chris, he flinches, but he doesn't. Rillaboom just goes down, and now Lando is in it to clutch it out. With that said, I think if you are able to kill Shifu here with an EP, because it's at minus... Like, I'm pretty sure you kill, right? Not a lot of SPDF, is at -1. You will need to take a Sucker, no clue how much that does, and then you also need to take a Terra Blast, which, if you take that, you can kill the other Lando probably, but it wasn't enough. I think there was only one way for Chris to win this, and that was in this position, because Chris lost to Tabu. Right, GG's for both, I suppose. Where was it? Yeah, here. No, here, yeah. To instead of Wild Wind Storm, you Rock Slide, you kill Lando, you chip the Urshifu, and then you are entering the Protect Sucker Punch mind game, and you try to get an EP on the right Sucker Punch turn, but it was looking better for Tabu than it was for Chris. With that said, Sucker Punch could have been a roll. Yeah, so you always wanted to Rock Slide here. I think that was the best option for Chris, but with that said, Tabu was in the advantage anyway, so. Right, interesting set of games. Time to answer glitch.